Welcome to Brindavan, a Parthasadi family Samarpanam to our beloved parents, a space for enjoying Vaishnava Sampradaya, Slokas, songs, Divyadesa Pasarams, and much more. Namaskaram Bhagavatas. In our Ayiram Namangal, Ayiram Gunangal series, today we'll see the Arthanubhavam of Sloka 51 of Sri Vishnu Sahasranamam. रामानुजदयापात्रं ज्ञानवैराग्यभूषणं श्रीमद्वेङ्कटनाथार्यं वन्दे वेदान्तदेशिकं श्रीशैलेशदयापात्रं दीपत्यादिगुणात्मकं यतीन्द्रप्रवणं वन्दे रम्यजामातरं मुनिम्
धर्मकृद्धर्मी सदसत्क्षरमक्षरम् अभिज्ञाता सहस्रांशुः विधाता कृतलक्षणः.
Namaskaram Bhagavatas. The first Nama in Slokam 51 is Dharma Gub. Dharma is always righteousness. He ensures that people follow the path of Dharma or righteousness with the Artha and Kama gunas that he has given us. He punishes those who do not follow the path of Dharma, giving them an opportunity to correct themselves. Because only when somebody does something wrong, unless they are told what they are doing is wrong, they may or may not realize what they've done is wrong. So, Bhagavan gives us some difficulties to understand what we have done is wrong and to change track and come back to the path of Dharma. Since he is the administrator of Dharma in the world, he is a Dharma Gub. And the Nama is Dharma Gube Namaha. The second Nama is Dharma Krit. Dharma is again righteousness. Krit, he establishes Dharma, or by his bountiful grace, he establishes Dharma and motivates everyone to follow. Like when Arjuna had a confusion whether he should be fighting with his own cousins and uncles and grandfather, he had and his Acharya or his Guru, Bhagavan Krishna, motivates him and tells him that he is not fighting against his people. He is fighting for Dharma. So it is absolutely all right to fight for Dharma. So it is Dharma Krit. Nama is Dharma Kride Namaha. Namangal in his Tiruvamai 5.6.4 sings about how Bhagavan is everything. He is the Dharma. He makes us do the right things. And he says, செய்கின்ற கிதியெல்லாம் யானே என்னும் செய்வான் நின்றனகளும் யானே என்னும் செய்து முன் இறந்தவும் யானே என்னும் செய்கை பயன் முன்பேன் யானே என்னும் செய்வார்களை செய்வேனும் யானே என்னும் செய்ய கமலக்கண்ணன் ஏறக்கொலோ செய்ய உலகத்தீர்க்கு இவையன் சொல்லுகேன் செய்ய கனிவாய் வாழ் ஏமாந்திரத்தே. He says how Bhagavan is everything. Sriman Narayana is everything. That is all the work that is done, and the results are of everything is again Bhagavan. And whatever we eat, whatever we do, whatever things we do, everything is Bhagavan is in there. So he Dharmakrit, he is there and he is guiding us. That is what is the most important part here. The third Nama is Dharmi. He uses Dharma as a tool to protect everything. He protects everything in the righteous way. Even though he fights against the Asuras, it is that he is teaching them a lesson. and he is fighting to destroy the evil and re-establish dharma. So he is a dharmi. The nama is Dharmine Namaha. Nammalvar again in Thiruvamazhi 4.8.6 sings about how Bhagavan is a Urumurti. He is the only one who is righteous always, and he has the knowledge to be righteous. அறிவினால் குறைவில்லா அலைஞானத்தவர் அறிய நெறியெல்லாம் எடுத்துரைத்த நிறைஞானத்து ஒரு மூர்த்தி குறியமான் உருவாகி கொடுங்கோளால் நிலம் கொண்ட கிரியம்மான் கவராத கிளர் ஒளியால் குறைவிலமே. He says, அறிவினால் குறைவில்லா. That he has no dearth of knowledge. அகல் ஞானத்தவர் அறிய. He is known by the learned ones or the wise ones or those who are educated. நெறியெல்லாம் எடுத்து உரைத்தார். He said all the pathway to righteousness. He established all the dharma, and he is the only one. Nirajnanatha Orumurti. The one who is an embodiment of knowledge is the single person. So he singles out God and says he is the only one who knows everything, who has the most wisdom. The next nama we see is Sad. He is all-pervasive, eternal. He has never been created. He has been there forever. He can never be created, and he doesn't age, and he can never be destroyed. He has all the auspicious qualities, the Trikalyana Gunangal, and never deviates from the path of Dharma. How one can reach is again by practicing Dharma. So he is Dharma himself, and practicing Dharma is the path which we can reach him. So he is the Upayam and the Upayam. He also helps Dharma in making people reach him, and he himself is the indestructible Dharma. He is an embodiment of Dharma which cannot be destroyed. And the path of reaching him is also Dharmic pathway. Nama is Sade Namaha. In Bhagavad Gita, chapter 17, verse 26 and 27, Bhagavan explains to Arjuna what is Sat. He says, the word Sat means eternal existence and goodness. One is it's eternal, without a birth or death, and he is good. O Arjuna, Sat, the word Sat is also used to describe auspicious actions, being established in the performance of sacrifice, penance and charity is also described as Sat. And so, any act of for such purposes is named Sat. Satpave sadhu bhave cha sadityetyata prayujyate prashaste karmani tata satchapta patayujyate yajne tapasi dane cha sthite sat iti chochyate karma chaiva tat artiyam sat iti eva vidityate. P.P. Anangaracharya Swamin of Kanchipuram in his Divyartha Deepika sings about how Bhagavan is eternal and he is Uttaman. Ulan kandai nannenje Uttaman endrum ulan kandai உள்ளுவார் உள்ளத்து உளன் கண்டாய் வெள்ளத்தின் உள்ளானும் வேங்கடத்து மேயானும் உள்ளத்தின் உள்ளான் என்று ஓர். He says, O mind, understand or know or realize that Bhagavan is eternal and he is Uttaman. He is the superior most of the superior. After saying Sad, we see Akshara. This is the adjective to the previous Nama Sat, where we said that Bhagavan is eternal and he never perishes. He was not created by anybody. So now Akshara. This quality of not being perishable is also true of his Swarupa, or his original form, and his Kalyana Gunas. So he is Akshara. Some people take both this together as Sadakshara. Nama as Akshara Sate Namaha. Now we see Asat Akshara. He gives long life and samsara bandha and problems to those bad people and makes them suffer by making do acts that have ill effects. He makes them do the acts and gives them the fruits of those actions which they suffer from. So once somebody suffers, you understand, and then you correct yourself, get into the path of righteousness, and surrender yourself. That person surrenders himself or herself to Bhagavan. He makes the people who want to get liberation to be good souls. So when you pray to him, we should also pray to him to make sure that we ask for liberation or moksha, liberation from the cycle of birth and death, birth, aging, death, and difficulties in this life. So if we want eternal bliss, we should surrender ourselves to Bhagavan, and He will make us do all good acts. Kaushadiki Upanishad, Bhagavan says that Bhagavan does not stay with those who commit sins. He moves away from them. He wants to be only with good people. Namas Asatakshaya Namaha. Both Tondadipadi Alvar in his Tirumala 15 and Nammalvar in Tiruvalmari 9.10.7 sing about how Bhagavan is there with his true devotees who seek him with pure love and devotion, and not being there for the non-believers. Now we'll see Tondadipadi Alvar Tirumalai. மெய்யர்க்கே மெய்யனாகும் விதியிலா என்னைப் போல மெய்யர்க்கே பொய்யனாகும் பொற்கொடி உடைய கோமான் உய்யப்போம் உணர்விலார்கட்கு ஒருவன் ஒன்று என்று உணர்ந்த பிள்ளை ஐயப்பாடு அறுத்து தோன்றும் அழகனூர் அரங்கமன்றே. So that is மெய்யர்க்கே மெய்யனாகும். That is, he is true to his true devotees. The Bhagavan in Srirangam. Now we'll see how Nammalvar sings in his Tiruvalmari. மெய்யனாகும் விரும்பித் தொழுவார்க்கெல்லாம் பொய்யனாகும் புறமே தொழுவார்க்கெல்லாம் செய்யில் வாழை உகழும் திருக்கண்ணபுரத்து ஐயன் ஆகத்து அணைவார்கட்கு அணியனே. This is on the Pasuram on Tirukkannapuram. He says, மெய்யனுக்கு மெய்யனாகும். That is, he remains true to his true devotees who voluntarily, of their own thinking, விரும்பித் தொழுவார்க்கெல்லாம், they pray to Bhagavan of their own choice. And for those who do not worship him or do not come in his path, they call him, he is not there. Tirukkannapurathayan. So Tondadipadi sings on Srirangam Nammalva sings on Thirukkannapuram. Next we see Avijñāta. He does not recognize the mistakes of his true devotees and is ever willing to forgive and forget their wrongdoings. So if we do something wrong unintentionally, Bhagavan definitely forgives us and forgets our wrongdoings and still protects us. Like we see, Lord Sri Rama in Srimad Ramayana is very patient and he doesn't reply to the harsh words that are told to him by his enemies. So Bhagavan is Avijñāta. So he does not carry any grudge over anybody and he is ever willing to forgive and carry us on to the right pathway. The Nama is Avijñātre Namaha. Kurathalwan sings about Perumal and says, "You are forgiving and forgetting the wrongdoings of your true devotees and not taking cognizance of their actions makes us rethink about your omniscience." What a beautiful saying. He sees so much of Bhagavan forgiving and forgetting all the wrong things that people do. Periyarvar in his Tirumari 4.9.2 on Thiruvarangam says how Bhagavan vouches and says that my true devotees will not do this kind of wrong. He has that kind of confidence in us and he says, he vouches for us that all the actions of his devotees are only good ones. Tannadiyar tirathatte தாமரையால் ஆகிலும் சிதகுதிரைக்கு மேல் என் அடியார் அது செய்யார் செய்தாரேல் நன்று செய்யார் என்பர் போலும் மண்ணுடைய விபீடனர்கா மதிலிலங்கை திசை நோக்கி மலர்கண் வைத்த என்னிட திருவரங்கக் கன்றியும் மற்றொருக்கு ஆளாவரே. He says, the Bhagavan in Sri Rangam, the one who gave Sri Lanka back to him, vouches and says that in Adiyar they will do only good things. My devotees will do only good things. In Adiyar Adisayyar, they will not do bad things. Seidarel Nandu Seyyar, they do only good things. We will now see Sahasramshur. He has infinite knowledge. He is the embodiment of knowledge. He is not taking cognizance of the faults of his devotees. It is not due to his ignorance, not he does not know. He knows about the happenings, but he is very magnificent. He is very large-hearted and has a great forgiving quality, as he himself is said in Bhagavad Gita. The Nama is Sahasramshave Namaha. Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, verse 30, even if the vilest or the worst sinners worship me with exclusive devotion, they will be considered by me as righteous, because they have made the thought process, or they have made themselves, they have made the proper resolution to understand what they have done is wrong and they will correct themselves. The sloka goes, Api chet sudara charo bhajate mam ananya bhak sadur samantavya samyak vyavasito hi saha. In Srimad Ramayanam, when he says, even if someone commits the worst sins or wicked deeds and worships me with devotion, without expecting anything in return, I will protect him without hesitation. This is very clearly shown when he gives refuge to Vibhishana, even though he was from his arch enemy Ravana's camp. So even when his people who were supporting him had some skeptical thinking about Vibhishana was really coming and taking refuge, Bhagavan said, once he has come to me, I should be able to protect him. And he takes him under his wings. Next we see Vidata. When he tolerates the sin of the Prapannas, Bhagavan ensures that all the ill effects of the Prapannas that result in punishment to be meted out by Yama and other devas who are controlled by Bhagavan himself. He ensures that the Prapanna or the Bandhatma gets the punishments for all the wrong things that he has done. And this is done by Yama and other devas who are created and controlled by Bhagavan for this purpose. The namas Vidatre Namaha. In Vishnu Puranam, Yama says, I have been appointed by Bhagavan, who is worshipped by Brahma and other devas, to give punishment to the wrongdoers without any bias. So he is very just in what he is doing. Tirumai in Nankam Tiruvandari sings about how one should be aware of a person who is singing the Namam of Sriman Narayana. Singularly, if he is chanting, do not go and trouble them. Not only not trouble them, you should treat them courteously and with respect. If you find somebody who is praying to Sriman Narayana, treat them with ultimate respect. Tirambin men kandir Tiruvadi Tannamam Marandum Puram Thoramandar Iranjiyum Sadhuvarai Podumingal என்றான் நமனும் தன் தூதுவரை கூவிச்சவிக்கு. Poigai in Mudal Tiruvandadi brings the same sentiment that one should be courteous to Bhagavan's devotees. Avantamar எவ்வினையராகிலும் எங்கோ நமன் தமரே என்று அழிவது அல்லால் நமன் தமரால் ஆராயப்பட்டு அறியார் கண்டீர் அரவணை மேல் பேராயர்க்கு ஆட்பட்டோர் பேர். The last Nama in Sloka 51 is Krita Lakshanaha. He does not ignore the faults of everyone. He gives that privilege only to some people who have certain distinguished qualities that he himself has laid out. He says in Ramayana, I will not desert those who come to me with friendly feelings. So when somebody surrenders himself, if they have done something wrong, he ignores that. And he does not do that with everybody. He has certain qualities which he says people should deserve that forgiving from Bhagavan, as he himself said in Srimad Ramayana. Nama is Krita Lakshanaya Namaha. To summarize, He administers and ensures dharma in the world, so he is a dharmagu. He established dharma and motivates everyone to follow the path of righteousness for their own benefit. By his bountiful grace, he uses dharma as a tool to protect everything. He is all-pervasive, eternal, without being created or destroyed at any point in time. He has all the auspicious qualities, Tirkalyana Gunangal, never deviates from the path of dharma. He gives long life and samsara bandham for those who ask for it, or those who are bad people. For others who ask for moksham, he gives them moksha or mukti. He does not recognize the mistakes of his true devotees and is ever willing to forgive. This he does not because he does not know the difficulties or he does not take cognizance, but the moment somebody or a prapanna surrenders unto him and says, what I have done is wrong, he is ready to forgive. And that privilege he has given only to certain people who have distinguished qualities that he himself has laid out as a Kritalakshana. This brings us to the end of Sloka 51. See you all in 52.